Every year in early spring, I do the maintenance on my mowing deck. Sometimes it's more than other years, but this is a video of the maintenance I did on my mowing deck for this year. So here's one of the other things I've been doing, getting the mowing deck ready. Scraped everything down, got off the loose paint, used a chisel, used 60 grit paper on the bottom, and also used a wire wheel. Cleaned it up with 409, just going to let it dry. Tomorrow it's supposed to be a little bit nicer and warmer. Well, it's the next day, and I was able to get 3 coats of primer on the mowing deck. I've got the mowing deck all painted. My blades are all sharpened up. Going to flip those over and put them on. Cleaned up the cups. You want to keep those washers in the right order. You don't want to mix them up or flip them over. Some of them are cupped. They got to be put on the correct way. Got my torque wrench. And I also have a 30mm socket. I found this at Pep Boys. 1/2-inch size. So we'll torque that up. I'm also going to drain the gear case. I'm going to put this in. I have this available. I'm not suggesting anybody go out and buy it. It does meet the service classification of GL5. So I'm going to use it. I have this left over. I'll use this up. Then I'll switch back over to the Kubota. They say to change the gear case oil after the first 50 hours of mowing, and thereafter every 150 hours. Now I use mine for cutting grass, and I use it also for sucking up the leaves, so I put more hours on. So it's ready for a change, and we'll get that done. Also, they recommend changing the seals on the gear case every 2 years. Well, the blades are on. The proper way to do this is really to use a torque wrench and a socket. You can take them off with a adjustable wrench, but what I would do is I would take the bolt and bring it down and make sure that the socket you're buying is going to fit that. Bring it right to the store with you. This way there's no guesswork in it. So you can take them off with that, but you can't. Really don't know what the torque is going to be. Well, I flipped it over using my hoist. Got that at Harbor Freight. I think I paid about $55 for it or something like that. But works good. Put it down easy. I didn't have to do any lift. It works nice. It's that spring. They tell you to take the tension off of the belt when you store it for the season. Here's something else I did. Usually they have those little round clips that are a pain in the neck, so I replaced them with these. They just pull out. You can adjust the height. If you're taking the deck off, you always have to move these things. It just cuts the time down by a lot. I changed the gear oil and put the plugs back in, and when it was right side up I filled it. Yes. This is the filler plug. This is 22 centimeters. I don't know if you can see it. I wrote it right on there. So every time I have to do this, I don't have to bring all my sockets out and wonder which one it is. This one here is 12. So this is the drain plug. This is the view port. When the oil comes out of there, you stop, it's had enough, and this is the filler port. Just make those snug, same as you would do with an oil plug on your car engine. You really don't have to torque down on that. When you're greasing these up, you have 3 spindles. You also have a one over here. And there's another one. It's another pulley underneath the gear case. And there's one more Zerk right there. Don't forget that one. And of course you want to grease up both the universals and the shaft. Clean those up. Grease those probably, I'd say at least 4 or 5 times a year during the season. Some people find it hard to get that spring back on to the hook after you have done your maintenance. But I just used a cat's paw. Stuck it through the spring, put it on here, and just put it back, and it slid right down and up and over it. Worked out good. Well, the mowing deck is about ready to go. Everything's greased up. Greased the wheels. Those Zerks on the wheels, they pull out a lot, and I replaced it once with an oversized one, and they still pull out. It's just a bad design. So what I did was I took off the bolt there. That is a 22 millimeter, I believe, and that is a 16, and I just packed them manually. That worked out good. You can still grease these up. Just a little bit of cleaner, little touch-up paint. I painted the wheels with some black paint I had, just made them look a little nicer. Keeps it maintained. People have trouble getting that spring off. You can use a rope, or you can use some electrical wire, some Romex or something. Put it underneath there and grab the hook of the spring and pull it this way. It's easy to do that when it's on the ground. If you're sitting on the ground, you could use some leverage, and you should be able to get that spring off without using a screwdriver and scraping up the mowing deck, or having it come back and whack you in the knuckles. That's never fun. Well, everybody does their maintenance on their mowers a little differently. This is how I do mine. I want to keep the value of it up, and I know if I don't get to do it now, I probably won't do it later in the season. Well, I hope it's been helpful to anyone who's looking to maintain their mower. And thanks for watching, and have a good day. Please subscribe. One last tip. Before you slide your mowing deck underneath your tractor, make sure all the wheels are on the outside of the mowing deck and not on the inside. You don't want to have them over there. Don't ask me how I know that one. You have a Zerk. You also have a Zerk on the tensioning pulley. Oh, come on. You also have a Zerk on the tensioning pulley in the center. Or you could use that. That's a little bit of overkill. I wouldn't recommend that.